Oh, we could be really stupid. Yeah, what the heck?
Do you recognize this tripod? It is vaguely familiar. I should think it is. Very similar to the one which we used to have here at the museum. In fact, that's what I thought. But this is obviously a poor copy. Right.
Oh boy, some really good security here.
What does this ball mean to you? Nothing, monsieur. Thanks for your help. Hi, André.
Hello, Georgie.
He's not going to be so stupid as to show him the tripod.
What does this ball mean to you?
It's a juggling ball. I love juggling.
Oh, okay. New information.
Thanks for your help, André.
You're welcome.
The man likes juggling. Now are you done polishing?
The priest was still busy with the chalice.
Ugh. Try the sewers. No. Spam this thing. But none of the rest of this makes sense.
The door was a handsome piece of work.
Red ball, where the nose of the skull used to be. I want to do something with this painting here, but I can't. It's very conspicuous. Okay, well, once again I am stuck, so once again I shall wander around, and I will let you know if I figure anything out.
Hey, that's hollow! I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it.
Alright, folks, so as I was spamming stuff, I realized if you use the manhole cover here, he just uses it like a battering ram and thrusts it right through the wall, so hooray for wanton destruction. Also, more hooray for random ways to solve a puzzle. Anyway.
Close up, I could see the plaster was thinner where I'd broken through, and behind it were some cogs and a lever. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap.
Yay.
I'd pulled the lever right over. Inside the hole, I could see one of the cogs had come loose and jammed the mechanism solid.
Oh, wait a minute, we can pick this up now. You can wrench the door open? Yeah. Okay. Do it! More destruction. Alright, we are in.
The door mechanism was trashed. It would take a blacksmith or an engineer to do anything with that.
Anything we can salvage?
Boy, had I ever made a mess of that door.
Well, at least we didn't need to solve an intricate puzzle to get to it.
There was a crack in the wall. Through it, I could see a glimmer of natural light.
There's nothing natural about that light.
In the beginning was the end.
Whoa.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness. In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lockmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results. Not petty bickering. Not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course, my apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person. until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princess of this world!
Wow.
And then they sailed away to the Bahamas. Alright. So, pretty much the most stereotypical conspiracy theory you could imagine right down there. But now we know that the Templars seem to be up to no good. So we probably need to find this broken sword, cue the title, before they do. Alright, so let's see what's down here. Oh, okay, it's simply the meeting place. Non omnis moriar clarior in tenebris.
There was a large circle marked out on the floor with a stump in the middle. Around the circle I could see words inlaid into the stone. On the circle's circumference were the Templar seal and 2 Latin phrases, non omnis moriar and clarior e tenebris. I shall not die completely, the brighter from the darkness.
Let's see, and what's that other phrase that people associate with the Templars? Non nobis nomine some man, I can't think of the whole thing. Yeah, it escapes me now. Something it's a Latin phrase. It translates as not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to thy name be the glory, or something like that. Maybe we'll run into that phrase at some point.
I noticed 3 small notches around the edge of the stump's top. In the middle of the circle was a stump of stone, a shaft of daylight from the world above lancing down to touch it. I noticed 3 small
notches. Ooh, we put a juggling ball in there.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. How about the gem? No? Tripod?
The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump.
Now the gem.
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays. And each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B. Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
Meanwhile, back at Nico's apartment...
Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria. But they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria. You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Fair enough. Alright, see if we can find one of the treasures in Syria.
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, George.
Let's do it. Off to Syria. A few hours later. That's a fast flight.
The stand was being watched by a young boy, maybe 12 years old. Hey there, young fella. Speaky you the English?
Oh, God.
Speaker you the Anglaise? Parlez-vous anglais?
Yes, si, and indeed we, and rather better than you by the sound of it.
Touché.
My name is Nijo. Welcome to my grand emporium of quality merchandise.
So, this is your stand?
Oh, yes, sir. Though stand does not begin to do it justice. The finest in this bustling metropolis.
This is a bustling metropolis?
Well, not per se, no.
How much are those books there on the shelf?
Have you any Syrian pounds?
I think I might have a couple of Irish pund.
Then they're too expensive for you, sir.
You speak very good English.
Thank you, sir. I learned from tapes that my uncle procured.
Oh, a language course.
No, sir. Jeeves and Wooster. Gussie, Fink, Noto, Aunt Agatha. What ho?
I don't get that particular reference, but I'm sure someone in the audience does.
Does the word Templar mean anything to you?
Templar. Ah, Templar. Templar! Why, yes, of course.
It does?
Yes. A splendid series of books by Mr. Leslie Chatteris, featuring the roguish Mr. Simon Templar.
Great. That's a real help, Nijo. Anything else?
The Saint television program, featuring Mr. Roger Moore of the quizzical eyebrow, and a stick man with a halo. Bing!
Now that reference I do get.
So all Templar means to you is Roger Moore.
I only watched it for the stick man with the halo. Bing! He was better animated.
So I'm correct in saying that the word Templar doesn't mean much to you.
Well, there was the Order of Knights who were wiped out in an Inquisition in 1312, I suppose.
That's them. What else do you know?
Just how much information do you think there is on a Trivial Pursuit card?
Oh, what?
From the medieval edition. We had it on the stand a couple of years ago. Ask me what a feuter is. Go on. I know all this stuff.
Never mind.
A master of trivia.
Okay, forget about the Templars for a minute. What do you know about knights?
Like the Crusaders? They came to the East on an insane and pointless mission. They sacrificed thousands of lives, including their own, for insensate pride. How anyone can find them romantic confounds me.
Well, we won't get into points of view considering Christian-Muslim relations in the Middle Ages. That's a can of worms I'm not going to open.
This plaster was very useful in Ireland.
Really? Your fund of travelers' tales never ceases to enthrall me.
Have you seen this man before?
No, sir. I'm glad to say. Cold eyes.
Very true.
What do you make of this?
A man-sized double-ply tissue stained with Bestheimer's number 12 white pancake grease paint. Apparently.
Wow. He really does know a little bit of everything.
Here, shake hands, Nijo.
I'd rather not, sir.
Look at this. A lifting key as used by Parisian sewer workers.
Calais, sir. I must remember this day for posterity. My grandchildren will be fascinated.
I haven't heard the phrase Calais since I watched Alice in Wonderland.
What do you make of this?
Well, beyond the obvious, very little. That pattern seems very familiar, though.
Yeah, that bar or whatever it is, establishment that this matchbook is from, is probably somewhere around here.
Do you know the name Merlin?
I'm afraid not, old bean.
What do you think of this, eh?
Oh, sir, what a splendid plaything. One day, when I am rich, I am going to build a world-renowned collection of brightly colored balls.
Are you serious?
In deadly earnest. People will come from far and wide to see my
Yes?
collection. The Rockefellers and the Gettys can keep their hoards of so-called fine art. But answer me this. What good is a Picasso, I ask you, if you cannot bounce it off a wall?
You may have a point.
I agree.
Seriously, do you really think this thing's so great?
Take it away, you tempter.
I'll swap it for something off your stand.
Due to seasonal financial considerations, I'm afraid I cannot.
I thought you wanted this thing.
I do, sir. The stand doesn't.
Which in translation meant it's not really my stand, and I'll be in big trouble if I swap anything for something that I want myself.
Alternatively, is there any service that you require?
Not at the moment, but I'll bear it in mind.
Okay, so we can successfully bribe this kid with the shiny red ball if we need to.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle pip, sir.
There were some great bargains on the shelf, providing you ran a junk museum. I hadn't come all this way to seek out curios. It was the sort of bell you see in hotel receptions. Kind of unexpected here.
Okay. That's weird. He just comes in and then goes right back away. Huh.
The cat was an ugly brute who looked like he owned the joint.
Well, every cat looks like that. Oh, don't be difficult, kitty.
Ah, bad-tempered as well as ugly. As I didn't see the point of going all the way over there to get scratched, I stayed where I was.
Just thought maybe throw the ball around, the cat would chase after it. Another random tourist. Although we may be able to talk to him. Okay. Well, I'm out of playing time right for now, but we'll pick it up in the next session and explore a little bit more around the Syria location. Till then, fellow adventurers, take care.